Number one, practicing mindfulness. I know mindfulness is not new to most people, but just in case this is your first time hearing about mindfulness, mindfulness simply means being present. That's it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Three Things on Monday podcast with your host, Stephanie Strong. And I like to say Happy New Year. We are in the first full week of 2023. Wow. Who would have thought? I go back and review or just reflect on 2020, Y2K, and I would have never dreamed that we would be in 2023, but here we are. And I don't know about you, but I am firing on all 8 cylinders. I am ready to jet set this year, and I hope you are ready too. Now, I want to say thank you to all of you who have supported the Three Things on Monday podcast by listening or sharing the podcast, by subscribing. That always matters. So I want to say thank you, and thank you. I'm doing something a little different this year with the Three Things on Monday podcast. Not only will I be sharing this podcast and broadcasting it on your favorite podcast platform, but I am also going to be recording it on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@presence-with-purpose. I want you to be a part of my full community, and you get to watch this. So you get to see my body language and just how I am engaging you, even though on the platform that you're listening to, you can't always see all that. But I hope you are picking up my energy. With that being said, I have some other housekeeping things before we dive into today's topic. Also, I've got a boot camp coming up on January 19th, and it's called Boost Your Confidence and Unleash Your Real Potential Boot Camp. And so if you want to get on the waiting list so that you can learn more about the details of this boot camp, please go to tinyurl.com/Boost Your Confidence waiting list. Again, that's tinyurl.com/Boost Your Confidence waiting list. Get on that waiting list because I'm going to be sharing more about the boot camp in the days to come, and I want you to be the first to get this information. If you are watching this episode on my YouTube channel, I want you to really hit subscribe and hit the notification bell and hit the like. Make sure you share this out because today is going to be good. So let me just jump right into it. That was a lot of housekeeping, but I'm ready to dive into today's episode, which is how you can tap into your authentic happiness. And the reason why I'm starting with happiness is because we cannot take unhappy into 2023. We are already in 2023. So if you agree that you will no longer go further into 2023 with the spirit of unhappiness, I want you to put that in the comments, or wherever you are listening or watching this broadcast, please put that in the comments or into the chat. I will not go into 2023 any longer with the spirit of unhappiness. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 ways you can tap into your authentic happiness. Number 1, practicing mindfulness. I know mindfulness is not new to most people, but just in case this is your first time hearing about mindfulness, mindfulness simply means being present. That's a short version. But mindfulness is also about how you can take your thoughts, your body, your imagination, your thinking, and you bring everything to the present moment. The most important moment that you are responsible for is right now. One of the reasons why I love practicing mindfulness is because I get to remove distractions. I get to bring my mind, body, and spirit into the present moment. It's almost like I get to nurture me. So if you want to tap into your authentic happiness, one of the ways that you can do that is focusing on your breath, focusing on your body, and focusing on your surroundings as well as your thoughts. When mindfulness is often tied to breath work, because breath work allows for you to focus on the sound of your breath while sending oxygen flow to your brain, to your body, to your blood, and it just helps you to relax. And I practice mindfulness quite often, and I do breath work on a very regular basis. And I'm telling you, as your friend and as your coach, that it is fundamental to your happiness. It is such a wonderful way to appreciate the sacredness of breath and the sacredness of your body, mind, and spirit as a unit, and that you are trying to work into being in alignment with your whole self. So that's number one. Number two is gratitude. You cannot not have gratitude. Gratitude is directly responsible to your happiness. Let me see if I can say that a different way. If you want more happiness, start with being grateful. It's simple as that. If you want more happiness, start with being grateful. So write down the 3 things that you're grateful for and begin to reflect on the positive aspects of your life and shift your perspective and cultivate a sense of appreciation, thankfulness, and gratitude. Gratitude is like energy. Gratitude is energy because your voice carries energy and your thoughts have energy, right? So when you practice gratitude, you focus more on all the things that's going right, the things that you appreciate, and everything that is just fundamentally a source of joy to you and a resource. So it can be a number of things that you could be grateful for. But today, I simply want you to focus on 3 things that you are grateful for. Gratitude is indispensable. You must absolutely practice gratitude from a spiritual perspective, but also from a holistic perspective. All right, another way that you can tap into your authentic happiness is reaching out to other people. Now, I want to remind you that one of the ways that happiness is cultivated is really thinking about the greater good. Thinking about the greater good. So when you reach out to other people, you are really like connecting yourself, your story, along with someone else's story. It's also like you are holding space for other people. And that is such a gracious act of kindness when you are holding space for other people. So one of the things that you can do is you can send a text message. You can send an email. You can make a phone call. You can express a random act of kindness. Anything like that can really cultivate gratitude. So practice mindfulness, right? Write down things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you're grateful for, and reach out to someone, reach out to a loved one. You cannot lose, I'm telling you, let's see, what do they call it? They call it like, there's a word for it. I can't think of it right now, but it is a word that's tied to just doing something for the good of it. Just doing something for the good of it. If you want to cultivate and you want to tap into your authentic happiness, you've got to go into that mode of how can I be selfless by offering something kind to other people by reaching out to them. Another way that you can, another way to cultivate and tap into your authentic happiness is by thinking about the things that you're good at, right? Like, what are you good at? What are the things that make you come alive? I talk about that oftentimes in my podcast. I'm always curious about what makes people come alive. What sets a person's soul on fire? So I want you to be thinking about that too. Like, what sets your soul on fire? What makes you genuinely happy? And what are those strengths tied to that? Like, what are you good at? What are some of your positive strengths? And write that down. Write down what your strengths are. Like, really, like, you can pause this video if you're watching it by on the YouTube channel, or you can press pause if you're listening and write down 3 things, at least 3 things that you consider strengths. Write those strengths down. And so number 5 is set your intention. Set your intention. And really, it should be number 1, but I'm just sort of riffing on like how can you tap into your authentic happiness. So setting your intention. The reason why you must set your intention is because your intention is like fuel. It's like fuel for your car. It's like food for your soul. And your intention is like fuel for your mind. And you want to set your intention so that you can move with purpose, that you can move with clarity, so that you can move with confidence. Set your intention. What is it that you want to accomplish for today? That's the doing part. But also the who part of that is, how do I want to show up today? How do I want to engage people? How do I want to use my words? And think about those things, because it is in that vein that your intention will help guide you along the path that is going to give you the most favorable outcome. So number 1 is practice mindfulness. Number 2 is write down 3 things you are grateful for. Number 3 is reach out to a friend or a loved one. Number 4 is about writing down your strengths. And number 5 is about setting your intention for today. If you really want to tap into your authentic happiness doesn't necessarily also mean that you're going to feel happy. All right, because that's emotional, and emotions are tied to a conditioning to your past and something that may have been happy or exciting or maybe even sad. So I don't want you to focus on feeling happy. I want you to focus on being happy. Like, I can genuinely say that I am a happy person. Does that mean that I am happy 365 times a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? No, it does not mean that. But my overall state of happiness is one that I am really proud of, because I had to grow it and I had to really practice the things that I'm sharing with you today. So be sure that you are tapping into these 5 things so that you can tap into your authentic happiness. And no one can take that away from you. Anything that anyone brings to you is a bonus. So you're not waiting for someone to make you happy. You are showing up in your own state of happiness, and anything that happens on the external front is just a bonus. It adds to your happiness rather than making you happy. So that's what I have for you today. I'm so glad that you joined me on 3 Things on Monday podcast. I look forward to our next episode. And just so that you know, I have some guests lined up for 2023, and I'm really super excited about really having some really intentional conversations about personal growth and development, so that we can become the best at the best at what we do, so that we can become exceptional at who we are. Until next time, make this your best day ever.